K.Short, and some of you may recognize me from North Starbucks, right? How many of y'all got Starbucks from me at one time or another? Today, exactly, right? So many of you don't know that I'm a recent NEU graduate. I was also first generation, and I got a degree in communication studies with a minor in public relations. I'm from Maryville, Arizona. So my friend Heather, I've known her since my second year of college. We met during ASA when we were interns for Arizona Students Association, you know, fighting for students' rights, all that important stuff. And so she asked me to talk to all of you because midterms were up and away, right? But how many of y'all feeling stressed right now about that? Feeling stressed about midterms? Feeling nervous about them? So we're in the midst of all that, right? So I'm here to just give you all some perspective when it comes to midterms, when it comes to being motivated and whatnot. So we can have a negative perspective about these midterms, about all these tests, all these assignments, things like that. We can think it's a waste of time. We can think they're just ridiculous. We can think they're just pointless. But we can also have we can have a positive perspective on midterms also. I mean, just by sitting in those seats, we're completely privileged to even be sitting in those seats, getting an education compared to the rest of the world. Like we don't have to be sitting in these seats. It's not a right to be sitting in these seats. It's actually more of a privilege than anything. And a privilege is just given to any particular group of people. And that's all of us who are receiving that education. So let's look at it this way. If we were to condense the world to 100 people, only one of us would have a degree. So if this room was filled with 100 people, only one of you would have a degree. And that's what y'all are getting right now, right? So how many of you are in-state students? Okay, how many of y'all are out-of-state students? Alright, how many of y'all thought about missing class or already missed class? Any class?
By accident or on purpose?
Did you just miss class? I don't care if you slept in or, you know, last night was a little too fun, whatever. So for all you in-state students, y'all just missed $185. That's $185 just by missing that one class. So for y'all out-of-state students, y'all just missed out $279 for missing one class. And this is calculated for 2012 for a student who has a 15 credit course load in the cheapest residence hall and has the cheapest meal plan. So think about that every time you miss class. Every time you don't want to get up that next day. Every time whatever, you just don't feel like it. That's how much money for every class you're missing. $185 for in-state, $279 out-of-state. But let me ask you this. The goal is to graduate, right? So for most of us, it's going to take 4 years. Some of us, it's going to take 5, like for me, some 6 or 7, you know. But let's look at the big picture now. It takes about 500 tests, 1,000 tests, whatever number you want to use. For every test and assignment that you do, you are one step closer to graduation. So this test, this final, this midterm, this paper that you don't want to do and you're procrastinating for 4 o'clock in the morning, that's one step closer to graduation. So when you think about this class, or you think about that test, think about that. That's one out of the way, on to the next one. And you're one step closer to receiving that degree. You're one step closer to having a place to yourself. You're one step closer to having more money than your friends in high school aren't getting. You're one step closer to making your family proud. You're one step closer to making yourself proud. And you're one step closer to making another accomplishment off your list and just checking it off. And I promise all of you, every test and every assignment, you won't even think about it once it's done. It's not even a thought in your mind. Once it's done and turned in, you don't even think about it. I can't tell you what I studied last year. I don't care, but I was stressed out as heck, so. Let's think about these tests, though. The professors are only doing their jobs. Nobody likes tests, but we have to do them regardless. Until something happens with the government. We all know how that's going right now. But let's look at it this way. They're testing our knowledge on what we know and what we don't know. You get to see if you're actually getting your money's worth. That $179, that $200+. Education ain't cheap, so you better make sure that you're learning something. And also know that this institution, Northern Arizona University, U of A, ASU, it's here to see you succeed. They didn't build these buildings for no reason. And so we're not here to see you fail. That's not what we want. All these learning centers, tutoring centers, writing center, SIs, peer leaders, all these workshops, what are they here for? They're here for all of you. And that's what you're paying for, right? Not just to come to class, sit here, and do nothing, right? But let me just tell you, as a recent graduate, enjoy college. But maybe for some of you, this may be your only obligation. It's just school. Some of you got a job. Some of you got other things to do. Some of you are part of organizations. But the main reason why you're here is to receive an education, right? And education isn't just here to make more money. It's here to make sure that you are actually learning something, that you're here to learn how to think. The reason why education here is to make sure that we can think and think for ourselves. So right now, you don't necessarily have to think about bills like I have to. Like I got a bill coming up, it's the internet bill. I gotta think about, my rent. I gotta think about all that stuff. Y'all don't have to think about that grown-up stuff yet. Y'all just got here. Like I said, I miss college. If I could go back and sit in those seats and just learn, I just want y'all to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Make new friends that are sitting next to you. Do things you never thought you'd do. Be the person that you never thought you'd be when you were in high school. And make it a memorable experience. Because most of us, we only get it once. You only may be sitting in those seats once. Now I want to leave you all with this quote from B.B. King. The beautiful thing about learning is nobody can take it away from you. Thank you.